Hi Cherie.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
Thanks for making the time, Louis. In our fieldwork at Balance, we get a lot of questions around soil health, and I thought you might be one of the best guys to talk through the fundamentals of the science with us.
Thanks Cherie, it's great to be here.
I guess the key question is, why is healthy soil important?
Soil health is really important because we want to be able to utilise the land for a range of different purposes, right? So we want to be able to grow food, but we also want to protect water quality and atmospheric quality, so the production of greenhouse gases. And so we need to be able to manage soil and its health and its properties in ways that will achieve those outcomes, the production of food and the protection of the environment. And different ways that we go about managing the land will result in different soil qualities and being able to sustain production and be able to sustain the protection of the environment.
There are three main aspects to soil health around soil chemistry, soil physics and soil biology. I wonder if we could just talk through that a little bit.
Soil physical is how the soil is structured. So the components, the way that it looks, the aggregation of soil and the holes between the aggregates. Soil chemistry is the cycling of nutrients in soil that are provided to plants. And then lastly, the soil biology is all the organisms that live in soil that decompose the organic matter from roots and provide nutrients to plants.
What are some specific examples of services that soil provides?
So soil provides a growing environment into which the roots can penetrate, right? So it provides a physical structure within which the plant roots can grow. It also supplies the nutrients that plants need to be able to grow. It holds on to water, so the ability of soils to be able to hold on to water after rain without it running off over the surface or draining through the soil is critical because plants need a continuous supply of water as well.
Yes, and of course soil will filter water to a point and remove some contaminants and nutrients before winding up in waterways.
That's absolutely right, yeah, because if you have the right sort of soil structure, then you can stop nutrients moving down through beyond the topsoil and down into groundwater. And if you can have good infiltration, so the ability of water to enter into the soil, then you can avoid the flow of water over the surface of the land and erosion. So if you can manage the soil physical properties in a way that allows water to stay in the topsoil without running over the surface or immediately moving down through the profile, then you can hold the nutrients in the topsoil.
So what are we seeing out there, Louis, that is causing a concern in regard to soil health?
So the main things that we look at on productive land are too high in nutrients and too lower what we call macroporosity. Macroporosity is the big holes in soil. That's the holes that really allow air in and out really easily. So you get too high in nutrients when nutrient inputs are not matched to plant need, and you get declines in macroporosity when you put heavy equipment or animals on the land at times when the soil is a bit wet, and you get compaction, and specifically you lose the big holes in soils, the macroporosity.
So Louis, just to summarise, what would you say were the key points around soil health?
I think soil health is really important for every landowner to be aware of, and we have these different elements of physical, chemical and biological. It's important that people understand what sort of shape their soils are in through measuring soil quality and then applying the right and the appropriate management practices to manage that soil health. And there are a lot of really good tools out there that farmers can utilise, including testing of their soils, but also things like visual soil assessment. Okay, so what we've got here is a spade full of soil from underneath pastures, and you can see where the spade is cut cleanly through the soil. But if you rip the soil apart, you start to see into the inner structure of that soil. So you can see the roots growing down in through that soil and creating little cracks and what you would consider the macropores down into the soil there. So just in the single spade of soil, you can see all the aspects of soil quality. The soil biological activity of the roots moving through the soil, the aggregates that form the structure in the soil, including the large macropores that divide the soil and allow air and water to penetrate down further in the soil. You also end up with a very nice cover on the soil here, right? So you've got good plant growth, which is avoiding or holding the soil in place so that it doesn't erode away. And what you can't see, of course, is the biology, the activity of the soil that is turning over organic matter and releasing nutrients to the plants.
Okay, so hopefully you now have an understanding of the importance of soil health and how the different aspects of soil health all work together. Soil health will look different to all of you depending on the soils that you are farming on and the different systems that you operate. This is a subject that Balance is really passionate about, and we have access to loads of information, the latest research and experts in this area. So if you have any questions, do get in touch with your nutrient specialist. And thanks again for your time.